Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. From packing and financial planning to managing anxiety, our next guest has everything you need to know to help your college kid prepare to study abroad. We welcome back podcast host and author of Cannonball, Fearlessly Facing Midlife and Beyond, Amy Schmidt. It's so nice to see you.
Hey, Hannah, great to see you.
This is a big stone for a lot of families. I studied abroad in college and it was a great experience, but I can imagine as a parent that you have a lot of your own anxiety going into this experience.
Exactly. And you know, the percentage is up. About 49% more students in this calendar year are studying abroad. So some are already there. I know my youngest is already abroad. He landed last week, and some are about ready to go. So let's talk about that, because I think both our emerging adults and our parents are experiencing two things. They're both terrified and excited. So there's some hints that we can do here and help these parents get the support they need.
Yeah, how do you kind of manage all of those swirling emotions and also just the checklist of everything that you have to get done? It probably feels really overwhelming.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And, it's funny because there's three different phases we're going to talk about real quickly today about kind of what these students are experiencing. And the first one is called this letting go phase. And I can say two of my three have studied abroad. And just recently, there was a suitcase sitting in the bedroom, and it was sitting there. And there was nothing being done in that suitcase because I knew that was making it very real for my emerging adult, my young adult. They were thinking, okay, once I start this, now I know I'm going. So there's some anxiety around this. So this letting go phase is important because we need to really give them the lead ropes. They need to figure out their passport, their visas. They need to figure out their classes, get those questions answered about, transfer credits and all of those types of things. So give them ownership of that. And when that suitcase is sitting there, Hannah, the advice to parents is start with some conversation starters, something like open-ended questions. What are you most excited about when you get there? What are you most excited about studying? What type of classes are you taking? What are you most nervous about? So those types of conversation starters kind of help them have a little ownership in it, but also ease that a little bit. And you can open the dialogue and make that packing a little bit less stressful.
That's a great place to start. So tell me about the next phase that's called the gray zone. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah. And the gray zone actually starts basically when you wave goodbye and then they land in their destination and they go through customs. It's kind of like the honeymoon phase a little bit. They're excited. Our family lived abroad for a while, so I know what that's like. You get there and you're like, everything is amazing. Everything is perfect. Everything is cool. Until it's not. And that's when some of that homesickness and then anxiety might set in. You might be living in smaller quarters. Food may be different. Language differences, your classes, all of those things may be very different, and expectations around studies. Maybe you're looking a different way to cross the road, which I had to tell my son about, which I know you'll laugh about, but it's true. You have to look the other way. So, you just have to be there for them and be that support. Listen more than lecture. We've talked about that before with emerging adults. We need to let them take ownership of this. We know there are going to be some struggles. And, with those imperfect situations comes positive growth. And we all know that as parents, so we just have to come alongside. We have to listen more than lecture. Open those lines of communication, get those group chats. Those family chats are very active right now in our family. They're sharing pictures of what they're experiencing. We're sharing some pictures on our end to keep that connection. But you know what? The biggest thing is that gray area takes a while. It's going to take them that first pretty much 4 to 5 weeks to really settle in and become more comfortable.
We have just about a minute left, so can you tell me about what comes next, which is the new beginning? And that sounds so fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's when they get this sense of self. They get more confidence around what they're doing. They've got some relationships going. They know where they can get their support on campus or from their host family. They can ask those appropriate questions. They're getting in somewhat of a groove. And, they're actually becoming they're proud of where they are. So, you know what, there's different stages for sure. And I think what we really need to do is just support them. And like I said, listen more than lecture, and just make sure you open those lines of communication. Make sure you've got, all of those things in line, whether it's WhatsApp or FaceTime, and you connect at least once a week with the kids.
There's so much technology now. That's the great thing, that you can access them a lot more quickly than maybe even just one generation prior. I mean, I think it'd be a totally different experience probably for your son than when I went just a couple of years ago.
Exactly. It changes. You know what? And make sure you have that U.S. Embassy number handy. You have those types of contact information. You have their roommates' numbers if you need them. Everything is accessible. And you know what? They have a great experience, and they're going to be coming back with these whole new, stories and memories and relationships and real global connections for them for their future.
I hope your son has the most wonderful time. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Amy.
Thanks, Hannah. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Amy's book again is called Cannonball, Fearlessly Facing Midlife and Beyond. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.